Good morning, children. I would like to welcome each and everyone to the virtual class. Hope you all are fit and fine. And today's date is 27 August 2020. Children, yesterday in our live class we have done a new concept, that is ancient civilization. Today we are going to have a recap of it, and after that we are going to discuss the workbook question answers. So let us start with what we have learned yesterday in our live class. So children, we have learned about the meaning of civilization. We have even learned about the different civilizations. Then we have learned growing crops, then domesticating animals and trades. These are the things we have learned yesterday in our live class. Today we are going to have a brief discussion of what we have learned yesterday. So moving to the meaning of civilization. What do you mean by civilization? A civilization is a group of human beings live together who have common rules, language and way of life. Earlier children, early humans, they used to move from one place to another. They were hunter-gatherers. They used to move from one place to another in search of food. Moreover, they lived in caves, in jungle, forests, trees. And earlier, they were known as apes also. But the apes means what? Monkey without tail. And they used to crawl with their 4 hands. That means 2 hands and 2 legs. Now, slowly and gradually time has passed, and now early human beings have started to walk on their feet, and they used to work with their hands, and they even have learned to grow crops, and they also have learned the most important thing they have done is that the invention of wheel. First they were doing first invention of wheel was done by stone wheel, okay, and slowly and gradually they have learned, and again they have learned to make out of metals, okay, and so on. We also have heard that the early humans discovered fire. And how they discovered fire? By you rubbing 2 stones together. They have seen the spark and it get easily, the dry leaves get easily catches fire. We have learned that. And even we have learned that they no more they used to eat raw food. Now they have learned the way of cooking food and to eat it, and they have learned that the animals are afraid of fire, and it also save and protect them from animals and cold weather, okay. Now all those things we have covered in our last class. Now slowly and gradually, when they learn to stay in one place, when they learn to build strong houses, when they became civilized children, now they were no more using sign language. They used to communicate with one another through their language, okay. They're no more using now sign language. How early humans used sign languages, now they can communicate easily with one another. So the example states that the definition: a civilization is a group of people, of human beings living together who have common rules. So the rules were common for each and every one. Then language also and way of life. They were all in a different way. How they early human lived, it was totally a huge change now. Okay children? Now, and most important thing, we have learned about the 4 different civilizations. We have learned about the 4 different civilizations. We have learned about the Mesopotamian civilization, Indus Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization and Chinese civilization. We have learned about this 4 civilizations. Now, one thing you should remember children, all this civilization was found near rivers. So river was one of the most important thing as water, because not only they use water for the daily needs, they use water to for cultivation also, agriculture, because they have started living in one place and they have learned the art of farming. So you can see that each and every civilization is situated near river. Okay, now moving back to the next part, that is growing crops, the domesticating animals and trade. So growing crops as children, human beings needed to stay in one place. They have settled down in one place. They grew crops, they collected and stored grains also. Then they have learned the art of storing also grains, and this is called agriculture. They build strong houses so that they can live in same places for long time. Earlier the houses were made out of stems and leaves, then skins of animals and bones of animals. But slowly and gradually they have learned to build strong houses, so they have settled down in one places. They needed water for their farms, so they built houses near big rivers. See, water was so important, they used to live nearby the rivers. Second point, domesticating animals. Domesticating animals means children, those animals are kept in homes or in farms. They also have learned that we can domesticate animals and we can use them for different purposes. Like they used to carry loads from one place to another. Then they are being used as meat or for milking. And there are some examples of animals during the early human times were cows, sheep, goat, buffalo, horse, dogs, cat, donkeys, ox and bulls are the examples of domesticated animals that were used by the early humans. Now moving to the next point, that is the trade. The most important thing, trade. What is trade? I have said you that exchange of resources is called trade. Exchange of resources. So children, I would like to cite one example for you which will be easier for you to understand that. Suppose I have grains but I need meat, and one of your friend or group who has meat and but less grain. So what I will do? We are going to exchange our resources. I will be giving few grains to them and that party will give me meat because I do not have meat. In same way, we are exchanging our resources, and that is called trade. And it was not within a group now children, they were among the villages also, different villages, they have started to do trade with one another. And that way slowly and gradually when trade started, their cities also have started nearby. Okay, now people are becoming more developed than earlier. They have settled down, they have learned the art of communicating with people, how to become as they have started living in a society which have the same rules for each and everyone. Like we have a state, we stay in the state of Assam. There for each and every people same rules and regulation are given by the government. The same thing was done that time also. They also have to follow the same rule. They spoke same languages. They started living like a civilized person. Now they are no more like an early humans. They have learned, or rather they have developed themselves to be a civilized person. They can speak, they can talk, they can share the feelings. They have learned the art of farming. They have domesticated animals. They have learned business, that means trade, to exchange goods from one another. And so now they are in a civilized society. Okay children, and moreover slowly and gradually a number of cities where people shared common ways of living and became civilization. Okay, there as the trade was increasing children, the business, the people started living near the trades and the cities was built where people used to stay and they shared their common ways of life and became a civilization. Common languages they spoke, they have the common rules, the way of dressing, Now they are more civilized. But during the early human time, what happened, children? The early human used to wear animal skin or leaves of the leaves. They used to cover their body. But now the civilized people have learned to wear clothes. Okay, children. These are the important things we have learned in our life class yesterday. Now we also have learned that the most important thing, that all the civilization were found near rivers. You should not forget this one. All the civilization were found near rivers. Okay, now children, let us have a workbook discussion. Okay children, you can get ready with your workbook and let us start with it. So page number 24, multiple choice question. How many years ago did civilization begin to appear? The correct answer is 10,000, that is number A. What is the process of growing crops known as? What it is known as, children? It is known as agriculture, number B. Fill in the blank. The Egyptian civilization was built near the river Nile. The people who usually made rules were priests. The priests were the rule maker. Okay, they used to make rules for the people. Very short answer question. Give an example of a metal used by the people of the ancient civilization. You can write anything. Iron. Near which river did the Chinese civilization grow? It is river Yangtze. Okay. Then what is civilization? A civilization is a group of human beings living together who have common rules, languages and way of life. You can write directly from the yellow color box. Now moving to page number 25 and it is number 8. Circle the correct word, that is soldier. Priest in ancient civilization fought in wars. The correct answer is soldiers. Then the cow elephant was domesticated by people in ancient civilization. The correct answer is cow. Number 10, a few houses made up a village. A few. Now next, number 11, people started to live in one place after they began to domesticate animal or grow crop. The correct answer is grow crops, because they have to settle down in one particular place. Coming to the next question, number 12, in ancient civilization, why did families live closer? Give two reasons. Families in ancient civilization lived closer together in order to take care of their farms and exchange resources. Resources, understood children? I have said whatever you have or whatever I don't have, they used to exchange. Why did early human beings begin to trade? Early human beings begin to trade to get what they needed, because I have said only, what I may have, you may not have. In that way, we exchange our resources. This started when families need to exchange resources among themselves. Describe how animals become useful to the people of the ancient civilization. How the animals did different work for them. A few animals were used to carry heavy loads and to do other tasks. The people observed the young ones of these animals and soon began milking cows and goats. They also got wool and meat from animals such as sheep. These animals became useful to people. Now moving to the next question, number 15, that is, there are pictures. Which place shown in the following pictures would be the best for growing crops and living? The correct answer is number B, plain. Then number 16, this picture shows an object from the Indus Valley civilization. What does it tell us about the civilization? You can see the picture, children. It's an animal. The picture itself says that there were domesticated animals. Very good. Now moving to the next question, that is short answer question, number 17. Read the situation below and answer the question. The people of the Indus Valley civilization had copper. They needed raw wool to make thread. The people of Mesopotamian civilization had raw wool. They needed copper. Explain how each civilization would get what they needed. So again, trade, exchange of resources. The people of Indus Valley and Mesopotamian civilization could exchange raw wool and copper. They could trade to get the resources that they needed. That means they can exchange. Now moving to the next part, that is number 18. Look at the picture. What are the people doing? Which animal do you see? How are the animals helping them? The people are planting seeds to grow crops. The animals on the picture are oxen. These oxen are helping with farming. Okay, the picture signifies that. Then number 19, mark and level the ancient civilization that grew in the continent of Asia and Africa. Why did civilization not grow in the hot areas? Give two reasons. Civilization did not grow in hot areas because the weather was not suitable for farming. Hot weather, it is not good for farming, so we need to stay in warm place. It was also not easy to live in such hot weather. Now moving to the next question, that is number 20. You can see the picture and the answer is, I have a beard and long hair. I wear jewelry. Look at my armlet and earring. I carry a sword and I use a bow and arrow. I am a soldier and I fight bravely in wars. The picture symbolizes this. And here I would like to wind up my class here. Thank you children. Take care and have a nice day ahead.